Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honour for me to be here at the official opening of the Oil and Gas Technology Centre. And today represents a really exciting new chapter for the UK's oil and gas business as the centre looks to unlock more of the huge potential that your sector has to offer. So I must say I was a little bit surprised. I still remain a little bit wary of being here talking to you today. As the CEO of the Advanced Propulsion Centre, part of my job is to decarbonise road transport. So it's a little bit ironic. On the one hand, I'm trying to put you out of business. On the other, I'm here to tell you what a great job you're doing and you're going to be doing. So it might seem a little strange to some of you that I should be standing here talking about this centre devoted to a key source of energy that's been powering automotive products for at least 100 years, just when things are starting to change. And we are in the process of accelerating that change. Market demand last year for electrified and alternatively powered vehicles increased by a massive 25%, but they still represent a very small, just 4% of the overall market share. No doubt the work that the industry is doing, supported by organisations like my own, will help increase this number further as technology we are developing comes to market. But there is still a long way to go. Will alternatively fueled vehicles ever become the dominant power source in the automotive sector? Probably, and if so, when? Well, we don't know for sure, but it's unlikely to be any time in the immediate future. While the 4% figure is a record for our industry, it is also a clear indication of the reliance that we still have on oil-based product. And so that's part of where you come in. Looking for innovations to best use the reserves that exist and extract it in the most efficient way. In my time at APC, I've seen firsthand the benefits that come from collaboration amongst groups of experts and what this can bring, and I expect the Oil and Gas Technology Centre to facilitate exactly the same here. So what is the APC? Well, the Advanced Propulsion Centre is a UK centre of excellence that was created to help the automotive sector to influence strategic direction with development of low-carbon propulsion technologies. It is a place where pioneering and innovative ideas and initiatives are created, developed, and ultimately brought to life through collaborative projects with a little motivation provided with some helpful government funding. These initiatives bring industry, small, medium and large, academia and government together to accelerate these new technologies to market. You'll be pleased to know that we support projects that bring step change efficiency improvements on internal combustion engines, along with some novel approaches to energy management like flywheel hybrid systems and electrical hybrid systems, as well as driving this overall move to the electrification of motoring. Now, the overall goal within the APC is to position the UK as a global leader in automotive propulsion, research and development to manufacture, and thereby anchor high-value jobs and technology and deliver CO2 reductions for society. With a resurgent vehicle manufacturing industry in the UK, we also aim to underpin this by encouraging new supply chains that will take root with these new technological challenges. Important to all our projects is the need to demonstrate that they have a really solid route to market and are at least 50% self-funded. So we are talking about innovation that will drive all the way into production and ultimately wealth creation for the businesses and the nation. The APC's independence gives us a unique voice and the ability to facilitate sustainable change and positive impacts. We are company neutral, we are technology agnostic, and most certainly and most fiercely, we are open to all comers. It's about transforming ideas into solutions. It's what we do, and I would certainly encourage the same approach here. Now, in this ever-changing world, innovation is all around us in all areas of our lives, the way we work, the way we communicate, the way we travel, and the internet has been a prime mover in this. It's really transformed the world and has brought us all much closer together, which has allowed innovation to thrive. Companies are now able to develop products quicker and overcome challenges in the development process more efficiently than ever before. Now, the UK, with its impressive network of technology centres, catapults, research institutes, and don't forget world-class universities, the UK is in a very strong position for technology and innovation. A quick look back shows our pedigree, from steam engine in 1801, telephone and television 1876 and 1925 respectively, all tracing their origins back to Scottish inventors, right up to the World Wide Web in 1989, which we can chalk up for the UK. There's no reason why these list of life-changing products should stop there. A report released last year concluded that the United Kingdom was in the top 3 most innovative economies in the world. The Global Innovation Index, released by Cornell University, INSEAD, and the World Intellectual Property Organization, concluded that Switzerland and Sweden ranked together in the top 3 with the UK, with the likes of the US, Singapore, Denmark, and Germany featuring further down the top 10. So I think that's really encouraging for all of us. The index's theme was winning with global innovation. The report recognised the growing amount of innovation that was achieved via globalised innovation networks, and found that gains from global innovation can be shared more widely as cross-border flows of knowledge and talent are on the rise. The report also said that there is ample scope to expand global corporate and public R&D cooperation to foster future economic growth. If we look at the industry on an international scale, we must not overlook developing countries that could benefit most from our innovations. The research work undertaken together with this centre should lead to new approaches to tackling sustainability and accessibility of oil and gas production, while aiding and assisting developing countries as they look to set up new infrastructure to meet their oil and gas demands. Now, arguably, new technology and innovation will secure and sustain business in the North Sea for years to come. But let's look at the world of opportunity beyond the North Sea as well. Specifically, developing countries will be looking to learn from the best. And our relentless search for new technology, the best processes, together with our undoubted commercial acumen, can be the perfect route to sustaining industry businesses and, who knows, even the planet. Now, there are those who see oil and gas as fuels of yesterday, but there is still huge potential all around the world. I think it's important not to get carried away with what the new President Trump might call fake news regarding oil reserves. You often hear sound bites that the world's resources are running out, when in fact, according to BP, there were, I think, 1.7 trillion barrels of global oil reserves in 2015. That's a figure that increased 24% over the last decade and should be enough to last another 50 years at least. And it's a similar outlook for gas, where apparently we've got enough to last at least 53 years. Now, it looks like there's enough to go round, but even with these large totals, those responsible for oil and gas reserves should have a detailed plan of how it can best be used. For Oil and Gas Technology Centre and the industry, that means looking for solutions of how to increase the lifespan of oil and gas and how resources can best be managed. Clearly, as my position as CEO of the APC, an organisation concerned with passenger cars, I'm aware of the widespread use of oil and gas. Research from the US Department of Energy suggests that from a single barrel of crude, about 47% is used for gasoline, 23% is used for diesel fuel and heating oil. So we all know then that the importance of oil and gas stretches way beyond the automotive sector. But if I may return to my comfort zone, history shows some examples of how innovation, or more specifically the lack of it, can really affect businesses. Start looking in the US. at the history of General Motors, they relied so heavily on the domestic market, but suffered massively when the likes of Toyota entered the market with something new and different to offer the customer. In contrast, fast forward to today, Tesla is worth a staggering $40 billion. And now that's nearly as much as the value of GM or Ford Motor Company. Tesla was judged in 2016 by Forbes to be the most innovative company in the world. Not bad when you're just 13 years old. And there was nothing new about the electric car when Elon Musk came onto the scene back in 2003 with Tesla, but it was his vision, his desire, and his understanding of the market that helped the company get where it is today. What he created was the Holy Grail, a desirable electric vehicle with a range of over 300 miles. It was something that few people thought possible, but he did. That's the difference. He had the belief, and he made it work. From a UK perspective, another great case study is Land Rover. For years, it was the leader of the 4x4 market with the likes of the Defender and the Range Rover, with both models that had great appeal to customers and which were hugely innovative in their time and were prime movers of the modern-day SUV segment. But a reliance on a small product range and unwillingness to innovate and revolutionize these products, effectively they sat on their laurels, ultimately spelt financial disaster and a fire sale to BMW in 1994. Fast forward, 2 further changes of ownership, and the company, which was subsequently merged with the Jaguar brand, has been transformed. 2016 was a record year for Jaguar Land Rover, with global sales of 583,000 units, which is 20% up on the previous year. Again, staggering numbers. Innovation has been at the heart of this success, as the product lineups of both brands have been overhauled, expanded, and upgraded to meet the demands of customers who crave the latest advances in technology at their fingertips. Now, I don't know much about oil rigs, and I'm certainly not in the business of telling you guys how to design your oil rigs, but perhaps a little bit of the Land Rover magic required here. I don't know. I'll leave you to discuss that amongst yourselves. Jaguar Land Rover is also a success story when it comes to production and innovation. The company is Britain's #1 automotive manufacturer. Its 4 UK production plants made 540,000 vehicles in 2016. A lot of this success can be put down to the ongoing investment. Since 2010, there has been close to £4 billion invested into production plants, and a further £3 billion is planned to follow. They now produce 10 vehicle lines and advanced diesel engines. Europe's largest aluminium body shop, which is a world leader, has been installed at one of the sites, and it's fair to say that the decisions made at the top by those in charge of the company have driven technological upgrades across their facilities. Much of the success is down to innovation and the willingness to embrace advanced engineering, new technologies, and different ways of looking at a problem and a challenge. This is what we have found at the Advanced Propulsion Centre, and what the Oil and Gas Technology Centre will undoubtedly come up against in the future. I'm certain that the oil and gas industry, with the OGTC, will embrace R&D, innovation, and similar levels of ambition as those that we have seen driving Jaguar Land Rover's success and that of Tesla. So it's great to see that your Oil and Gas Technology Centre wants to provide industry-led, focused and flexible approaches to its projects, aiming to maximise economic recovery from the UK sector of the North Sea, with the help of industry, academia and government, in order to benefit all parties, with innovation at the forefront. Now, SME incubators don't always get the best reputation, but my view and experience from APC is that a technology accelerator program, like the one you're going to operate here, are the best way to leverage the funding for these companies and can make a huge difference in growing critical supply chains. I'm in love with the idea of the Innovation Hub, inspiring innovation, creating a place where companies and technology providers can get together and collaborate on solutions. These with the collaborative projects that the Centre will part fund are a great step forward and very appropriate suite of products for the Centre here. Now finally, population forecasts from the UN in 2015 suggest there will be a new world order by 2050. The number of people on the planet will grow from just over 7 billion to just under 10 billion by 2050. Estimates are that European population will drop a little bit, but other regions, particularly Africa, will see huge increases. Technology will have to evolve and continue to evolve again and again. The pressure to innovate will be relentless as the growing population demands for more oil and gas and more transport solutions to build their homes, businesses, towns, industries, and so on. So I very much look forward to that journey, or at least part of it that I'll be around for with you as well. And please note that we may be from Coventry, but we are your friends and we are here to help. So I wish you all the very best for the Centre and everything that I'm sure you will achieve in it. My final word to you is this. It is, in my view, absolutely critical that we retain successful and thriving auto industry, and just as much, I want to see a successful and thriving oil and gas industry here in the UK. So I ask you, above all, please be ambitious. Thank you.